Why do leaders fail? If you think I'm about to have a conversation about whether or not leaders are born or made, this that won't even be close to this. This is a thought-provoking conversation about leadership. Some of you might appreciate, and some of you might not appreciate what I'm about to tell you. At the same time, I strongly suggest you hear me through. I'm offering a new perspective on leadership. Many of you would never want to serve in the role of a CEO. The CEO is responsible for everything. On one hand, they receive the glory when the company does well. On the other, when the organization does not do well, there's an imminent bump in the road, they are put under a magnifying glass, and every aspect of their performance is scrutinized. Before you get to dealing with the good, bad, and ugly of leadership, yeah, you really have to understand what it means to be in charge. Let me tell you about a real experience I had in talking to masses of people about leadership. When I was on the app called Clubhouse, I was in a room that was discussing leadership. When I said leaders do not tell people what to do, the silence was deafening. It appeared people were shocked by what I said. Then the questions started. Then, Ted, what does he do if he's not telling people what to do? That one question can spark many more questions, such as where are people learning about leadership? What kind of people are they hiring? What do people think it means to be a boss? Have most people worked with a great leader? Do people believe being a leader is the same as being a parent? Do people invest in themselves and engage in leadership training? Are people overestimating their abilities as a leader? Do people have any idea as to how to get the most out of others? That list of questions can appear to be overwhelming. However, when you peel the layers of each question, you learn there's a huge gap in leadership development in the US. In most cases, people become leaders through trial and error. If they work for a company, someone thought they were confident, and confidence is all that is required to be a leader. Or they started a company. Many entrepreneurs believe it is their company, therefore, they can do and say whatever they want. That is their version of being a boss. If they are parents, they believe leading adults in a business is no different than leading their children at home. With that said, I have served as an executive coach for CEOs of mid-sized and small businesses for over 20 years, and I've trained and developed vice presidents to become CEOs. And those people were not on a trajectory to be CEO before they met me. And that's in addition to me being an executive in a number of companies. One of the things I have distinguished is people have images of what it means to be a leader. Where do most learn those images is in the media. That's right. I said it. I said hear me out. I had one gentleman tell me he learned about leadership by watching the movie The Godfather. He said he learned everything he needed to know about leadership through that movie. While that story may give you reason to take an incredulous position, it happens more than you think. It's not anecdotal. Think about the images of the demanding boss that you see in movies. He complains about his people are not smart enough. He says he always has to tell them what to do. Along the same line of thinking, there are CEOs who believe they have to intimidate their people. They need to strike fear in their hearts. I had a friend recommend a book to me with the title that went something like How to Lead with Intimidation. This kind of mindset is not natural, even though it is pervasive in the US. If you yell and demean people, can you bring out the best in them? Perhaps people are thinking of scenes in movies when soldiers are in boot camp. In boot camp, You do as you are told. You do not think about innovative ideas to better serve the client. When I was in a session with the CEO of a mid sized business, he told me he wanted to hire people who do not think. They will just follow instructions. He said he was going to make instructions so simple they will just follow what they are told. I asked what he would I asked him what he would think if none of his employees ever made improvements to his business or created new products or services for clients. He said that would be frustrating if his people were like that. I then asked if he wanted people who were able to think, be innovative, and create new ideas, or if he wanted people who only did exactly what the instructions told them to do. He said he preferred innovation. If you're getting value from this video, like and subscribe to my channel. Share this with other people. There are many people who believe they have an understanding of leadership, but no one really questions where they learned about leadership. Did you learn it from parenting? Share this video. So, if you're starting to see a pattern, if you see a pattern in what I'm saying, I have a question. Can you get innovation from your people if you believe they are in boot camp where you have to be the angry, intimidating boss? If you want your business to have a competitive edge in the marketplace, it would seem wise to hire intelligent, innovative people. I would say Steve Jobs is, uh, I'd say he said it best. He's quoted as saying, "It doesn't make sense to hire smart people and tell them what to do. We hire smart people so they can tell us what to do." Unfortunately, in the media, we do not see many images of leaders with this mindset, and most people do not raise their children that way. As a leader, it is wise to hire great people. In fact, it is in your best interest to hire people smarter than you. In Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, he talks about getting the right people on the bus. He talks about the importance of hiring great people to execute your vision. In Malcolm Gladwell's book, David and Goliath, he talks about dyslexic CEOs of all people. Those CEOs are people who learn to collaborate with the smartest kids in class while they were children. As a result, it is easy for those dyslexic CEOs to hire people much smarter than themselves. Henry Ford is known for practicing the same, hiring people smarter than himself. In that same clubhouse conversation, I said leaders are not there to solve problems. This comment caused an equal amount of confusion for others. I went on to say the CEO's job is to intentionally create problems for the enterprise to solve. If the CEO is not intentionally creating problems for others to solve, he should be fired or retrained immediately. If he is spending more than 10% of his time solving problems, he is failing. He is creating opportunity cost. His time is better spent creating new possibilities. That is a major part of a CEO's job. He is also responsible for creating an environment that fosters high performance. That includes the possibility to fail. How do you create breakthroughs if you are never allowed to fail? Steve Jobs is an excellent example of a CEO who created problems for others to solve. He asked his people to put 1,000 songs on a listening device. It had never been done. Once they accomplished that, the iPod was invented. Then he asked them to turn the iPod into a smartphone. That was a new problem to solve. Here we are with iPhones. For many, this sounds foreign. That is because there are not there are no images of leaders that we see in the media. Like these images of CEOs intentionally creating problems is not what you see in the media. At least not problems that create breakthroughs. You may see problems of people saying the desk is dirty. To pretend the media does not influence your images of self and leadership is naive. What we see in the media is make believe. However, people are living out those images and wondering why they cannot get the most from their people. The overwhelming majority of people go to work because they want to do well. Just understand that about the people that work for you. Except if you do not engage them in their innovative ideas, you are not mining the intellectual capital that can generate new revenue growth or significant savings. If you want them to just do as they are told, you are killing off possibility that each human possesses. The most you can expect is mediocrity when you kill off possibility. At worst, your business or department will fail. People are amazing. They have so much untapped power. Yelling and pretending to be the boss or military leader from a movie will not bring that out of them. For sure, you should think twice before you lead like a mafia boss who will whack his people for not doing what they are told. Instead, intentionally create problems for your people. An easy way to start is to ask them to do something that is slightly above their competence. Give them assurance you're there to support them and they do not have to get it right the first time. When that person comes back to you with an accomplishment in a new area for them, they will have developed new skills and have a level of confidence you cannot buy. That person will also look to you to bring more out of them that they don't know how to bring out of themselves. There's a level of trust, mutual trust. That can create a level of loyalty that makes any company a great place to work. In closing, the short answer to why leaders fail is because they do not have a clear understanding of leadership. They have an image of what it means to be a leader. Many of those images come from Hollywood, which is make believe. Hollywood is for entertainment purposes only, not to emulate. When you emulate, you are more focused on looking like the thing you are emulating. That puts you in a trap of attempting to look good. If you think you do not look like the image from the TV or movie, you think you look bad as a leader. That can be frustrating. Emulating make believe is not leadership, nor is focusing on looking good. Leadership has an important element of being yourself so others can do the same. If that is not happening in your organization, there is training that is designed to bring out the best in everyone. Make the investment in yourself and others. Here's a final word. In my profession, I meet a lot of CEOs, including those of Fortune 500s, and I have spent countless hours discussing life and business with them. To quote a very wise CEO by the name of Bob Weissman, he is the former CEO of Dun& Bradstreet, which is a Fortune 500 corporation. He told me that at the beginning of his tenure as a CEO, he was focused on money metrics and milestones. Near the end, he said he came to the realization that if he took care of his people, they would take care of money metrics and milestones. He said he wishes he knew that at the beginning of his career. It would have made life much easier for him. What do you take from Bob's experience? Like, share the video. Tell me what you think. I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thanks for watching me. Take care and goodbye.